Hello and welcome back to Old Truthford, the home of honestly biased sports content. How we doing, folks? Safer ramen. Xerxes ain't getting no minutes. Rather keep Rasmus than Xerxes. Well, thank golly gosh you are not the manager of Manchester United, Safer, because Højlund is a goner. Højlund's gone, mate, and there's nothing you can do about it. But hope you're keeping well, man. Hope you're keeping well. I think this stream will be a relatively quick one. Just wanted to obviously do my daily streams that I've been doing. And yeah, so we'll just run through the news from today. Or speed run the news from today. Starting off with the aftermath of Manchester United v Arsenal. We've got Brian Mbeumo and Matthias Cunha linking up on Instagram, both supporting one another, which you love to see from the new recruits. I mean, you know, usually in like toxic work environments, I mean, if you start at the same time as someone else, then maybe you could be comparing yourself to them. You might push a bit harder for yourself to make sure that people know that, oh, okay, you're performing better than the other person, and it becomes a bit of a toxic rivalry. However, it does seem like Mbeumo and Cunha have bonded and gelled immediately after working together, which is good to see. Something which we do need to talk about is the United goalkeeping situation. Ruben Amorim, I mean, he's kind of been backed into a corner here by journalists, with them asking why Altay Bayindir started in goal instead of Andre Onana, and one journalist even went as far as to say to him and ask him why he dropped Andre Onana, to which Ruben Amorim responded with, sorry, shaking his head, sorry. No, I didn't drop Onana from the squad. I didn't drop one of the other two from the squad. So it's not the case of dropping Onana. It's not putting Andre Onana with just 1 week of training without seeing a game, without time with training. And like you say, guys, like Tom and Altay during the preseason, they did a good job. So you can see why Amorim picked Bayindir. I mean, other than the mistake, he was finding a lot of players. I thought his distribution was pretty good. But yeah, I think the pitchforks are out for Amorim when it comes to journalists asking why he decided to play Bayindir over Tom Heaton. I do think Tom Heaton definitely would have saved that corner, by the way, guys. Let's see what else has been going on today. So Ruben Amorim has also been quoted saying, I think we proved today that we can win any game in the Premier League, especially against a great team like Arsenal, and we were the better team. So I'm happy with the players. Because, I mean, realistically, when you look at the results from last season, yes, we got some good results against the top teams, but did we perform better than them? And pretty much the answer to that is a resounding no. Whenever we have beaten top teams, it's usually been just through pure quality rather than our team actually dominating theirs. So this was something new from the side against Arsenal, and hopefully, if we continue performing like that, then we won't have to worry about being 15th again this season. But moving on, Ruben Amorim was adamant to say, I'm happy with the 3 goalkeepers. Now, if we're being honest, he has to say that. Because, I mean, like, realistically, he can't come out and say that he needs a new goalkeeper. Otherwise, it not only affects the confidence of the 2 or 3 goalkeepers, but it also adds on an extra 5-10 mil if we were to go for a goalkeeper this summer. So, yeah, even though it's it's painfully obvious that United need to get a new goalkeeper. Amarim will not admit to that in a press conference. Now, what do we have? Ruben Amarim also spoke on Rasmus Højlund, saying the reason why he wasn't included in the squad for against Arsenal. No, it's a fight for the places. We'll see what is going to happen on the market. Different characteristics. So Rasmus has the same characteristics of Benjamin Šeško. So sometimes we need to choose. So, I mean, Ruben Amarim did literally say there that Benjamin Šeško, having only been here at United for a week, is ahead of his plans with Rasmus Højlund, which doesn't really come as a shock, does it? I mean, Rasmus Højlund has been touted to leave for a while now, so yeah, that's not, he's not saying anything new there. Hi, how you doing, man? Oh, hey there. How's it going, brother? What other news do we have for you today? So Gary Neville has come out as well, saying there is a glaring issue for United that cannot be ignored, and that is they need to find a new goalkeeper. They have to. I am absolutely unequivocal of that. So yeah, again, I don't think there's one United fan who would say, no, we need to stick with the current set of goalkeepers that we have. I was just watching Lee reacting to Leeds and Everton. I'm not familiar with Lee Reacts. Does he make good stuff? Who else do we have here? So, stat did come out on Ruben Amarim yesterday, saying Ruben Amarim has now lost 15 of his 28 league games, won 7, drawn 6. This is the fastest a manager has reached 15 defeats in the competition, without taking charge of a newly promoted team in that period since Paul Hart with Portsmouth in 2009. So yeah, pretty much Ruben Amarim is the fastest manager who hasn't just taken charge of a newly promoted side to have lost 15 games. So that is not a record you want to keep. But yeah, realistically, I mean, all it takes is a few good results our way, and then all of these stats are absolutely meaningless. So I've still got faith in Amarim, even though it's weird. Like, there's positivity after the game, but then still I see like about half of the fan base full on saying stuff about Amarim and he's a fraud and we need to change the formation, and it's tiresome, man. It's really tiresome. It's warm today. It is indeed. It must be warm where you are as well. Well, more known as Lee Gunner, he is an Arsenal supporter. He got like 130k in his main. Oh, okay, I have seen him. He's pretty good with dissing people, isn't he? I think I've seen him diss a few people quite a lot. What else has come out today? So the most positive stat about yesterday was the fact that we had 22 shots on target, and not only 22 shots on target, but we had 15 shots inside the box. So usually for the past 2 seasons, we have not spent a lot of time in our opposition's final third or in their box, but given the fact that we got 15 shots off in there, I mean, it shows how much of an attacking threat we really did pose to Arsenal. It's just a shame that we couldn't get over the line, I guess. Manchester United will face Grimsby Town in the second round of the Carabao Cup on Wednesday, 27th of August at 8 p.m. What else do we have? I think reports did come out today about the goalkeeping situation. think Alex Crook came out with some stuff. I'm just going to see if I can find it. Nathan Salt, though, of Mail Sport, did, let's see here, he did come out with something which I found quite interesting. He said, one thing that stuck with me leaving Old Trafford yesterday is that United have got to play with that level of intensity and energy every week, not just against Arsenal. No excuse when it's one game a week. And yeah, completely agree. I mean, people are questioning whether we can keep up that level of intensity if we only had that level of intensity because it was against Arsenal, so it was a bit of a derby kind of thing. But no, I think we're really going to impress having to only play like one game or 2 games a week if we've got like a Carabao Cup match or FA Cup match. I think we're really going to impress, especially given the fact that the players are only going to get fitter as the season goes on. What else do we have here? So yeah, Ruben Amorim's spoken on Rasmus Højlund. He's keeping his cards close to his chest. Last season, it did feel like Amorim kind of overshared in press conferences about how bad things were and what he wanted to change and what he wanted to keep the same. But now it does feel like he doesn't trust the press as much. People seem to forget that Fergie came to the club in 1986 and waited until 1993 to win the Prem. The club even thought about sacking him. I'm not saying Amorim is Fergie, but give him a proper chance. Amen. Amen. I think yeah, it's a funny one because I think we'll know the United fan base have properly healed when they don't just give up on a manager during the manager's 3rd season. Because at the moment, it's kind of like, okay, we're going to have all of this energy towards Amorim, we're going to have all this belief, we're going to say stick with him. But then as soon as that 3rd season hits and the toxic PR machine does its thing, also known as some certain channels or pages, then then people start to question the manager, and as soon as they start to do that, for whatever reason, the online fan base just like goes into an absolute meltdown. So hopefully we can avoid that. Dermot Gallagher came out saying, I wasn't convinced it was a penalty. What I would say is if it is going to be a penalty, it's one the referee is going to give. VAR will not get involved in this. That's such a strange explanation as to why the Cunha foul wasn't a penalty. But yeah, Ahmad was another positive from yesterday, coming off of the bench. Good to see that he's getting some game time. Big news from today, though, is that Manchester United are braced for an offer from Chelsea for Alejandro Garnacho, but are determined not to let him leave on the cheap. So that bid could come in from Chelsea for Garnacho any day now, especially given the fact that Chelsea struggled with Crystal Palace on the first week of the season. I'd imagine they are going to be desperate to bring in reinforcements. Yeah, I don't know why the mainstream media push the Amorim hate. I think it's just purely because it's United. I think they just don't want us to succeed, so they know that more turmoil at the club, the better. And yeah, that's my 2 pence anyway. But it's not just the mainstream media, man. It's also a lot of YouTube channels do that. Another stat for everyone. No player has completed more take-ons in the Premier League so far this season than Manchester United's Matheus Cunha. And also big news today is that Jadon Sancho to AS Roma was on. Roma were happy to pay an upfront fee for Sancho, which is ridiculous because no other club would even consider him. But yeah, Jadon Sancho has completely rejected the move apparently. So that is just delightful. Thank you, Sancho. Yeah, as Damasio reported, the negotiations for Sancho to AS Roma are nearing the end. The player has not accepted. Absolutely ridiculous, man. What else has come out today? So Sancho's rejected the Roma approach. Amarim's backed the goalkeepers. And we're getting closer to seeing the exits of Sancho and Højlund. A player we haven't heard any updates about for quite a while is Anthony. I don't know what is going on with Anthony's situation right now. Besiktas are willing to match Man United's asking price for Jadon Sancho, but he is not accepting a move to Turkey now. Could be an option in September. What? So Sancho isn't accepting an offer to Italy. He's not accepting an offer to Turkey. Is he literally just holding out for... Is he literally just holding out for Saudi so he can get some more money? So this is what Fabrizio Romano had to say. Jadon Sancho's agent also informed AS Roma their decision not to accept the proposal. Sancho wants to consider other clubs' proposals, and AS Roma will now look at different options. Man United hope for similar proposals to follow, around £20 million, as they were ready to accept. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Sancho is holding us ransom right now. I don't know what Sancho asks for. He seems like he is asking for his United salary, but no one is going to pay that much money for him, lol. Well, Indy Kayla, who has been one of the most reliable sources of the transfer window, has literally come out saying that Sancho wants a payout from United if he's going to go to another club. So he is literally holding us ransom, and with the wages he's on, he would be due a big payout. Let's see here. I think that's everything on Sancho. He's still being a pleb as usual. What else? Do we have any good news today? I mean, obviously the performance was good, but we need to obviously get a few more additions in if we are going to challenge for Europe this season, in my opinion. I don't think that we can challenge just purely based off of that performance alone. I think we need players. There are also rumours for Rasmus Højlund to go to Inter Milan, given the fact that Lukaku has picked up quite a not Inter Milan, sorry, Napoli, because Lukaku's picked up a pretty serious injury, from what I'm told. Antonio Conte also is looking at Romelu Lukaku. Sorry, not Romelu Lukaku. Joshua Zirkzee, apparently, which is kind of interesting. But Manchester United have told them, no, we're not going to let Zirkzee go. And for good reason. He is our backup striker. Chelsea wanted to give him like 160 plus bonuses, but he rejected. Yeah, the guy's insane. The guy is actually... He is going to be one of the most hated ex-United players ever. Ever. And it also came out this morning that Inter Milan are interested in re-signing Andrea Onana, apparently. Now, if that is true, then we could replace Onana with Donnarumma, but I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be the case. Dermot, yeah, we looked at Dermot Gallagher's ref watch. Okay, so let's have a look here. So goals by forward signings in the Premier League since 2013-14 for Manchester United forwards. Wow. Wow, this is actually terrible. So the highest is Anthony Martial with 63 Premier League goals. I mean, to make the top 5, you just need 15 Premier League goals. That is insane. The chat is dead today. What the fudge? I think it's because it's quite late here. I don't know what time it is where you are, but it's quite late. Quite late in the UK, so I think a lot of people have clocked off. Indicator has also reported that Carlos Baleba is disappointed. Feels Brighton have overpriced him. Really wanted the United move and still wants the United move. So Indicator letting us know that Carlos Baleba is still desperate to join Manchester United, but he isn't going to ruin his relationship with Brighton. What else do we have? No, we got the same time as the UK, I think. Where are you based again? Oh, sorry, my memory is failing me. Did you say was it Morocco, or have I just completely made that up? Morocco, my guy. Morocco, beautiful. What part of Morocco are you in? Because I was actually going to plan a trip to Morocco this year. But yeah, Indicator is reporting that still reporting even tonight that Man United need to pay out Sancho before he leaves. Okay, so Patrick Dorgu covered the most distance of any Manchester United player against Arsenal, bobbing up and down that wing. What else? So Napoli had direct contacts with Man United today following Romelu Lukaku's injury, as he'll be out more than 3 months. Napoli asked for loan deal conditions for Rasmus Højlund. Man United want to keep Joshua Zirkzee. No talks, despite links today. Clear plan by Amorim. So, I mean, Rasmus could go on loan to Napoli, see what he can do with Antonio Conte. It's actually insane that Conte is so obsessed with United players, by the way. I mean, Lukaku, McTominay, was in for Garnacho, now he wants Højlund, Zirkzee. Conte is desperate to prove that he could do better with these United players than Amorim. The capital, Rabat. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Where would you say is the best place to visit in Morocco? I think I'm the only one who doesn't rate Dorgu. He's just technically dead, like literally zero technique. He does yeah, I think he's still polishing that side of his game, if we're being honest. I think Dorgu does need to work on his technical ability. I think his first touch, I think his dribbling looks a bit clunky. Yeah, I don't have a lot of confidence that if someone spammed a crossfield ball to him, that he would be able to take it down. If that's what you mean, But yeah, Alex Crook did report today saying, as things stand, United are not progressing with any move for a goalkeeper. God. What else do we have? A lot on the Erasmus deal. It's been a pretty slow news day for United, to be fair. I mean, the diehard Hoyland fans, by the way, are going to be absolutely fuming tonight because, I mean, the fact that these reports have come out that Amorim is adamant on keeping Xerxes, but he's literally trying to push Hoyland out no matter what. I think there's going to be a lot of angry Hoyland fans out tonight. The only thing he's got is athleticism. I'll give him that. He does have athleticism. I'm not gonna lie, when we signed him, I thought he was gonna be just the backup for left wing back. I didn't think he was gonna be our go-to starter because he does still have room to develop. But I mean, his shooting seems to have improved. I mean, hit the post in the first game of the season, and hopefully if he can contribute to a few goals here and there, maybe five to seven throughout the season, then that would be very good for Dorgy. Okay, so Brian and Buemo is calling Mason Mountain in the comment section. I don't know what that's about, but okay. What else do we have here? So Rio Ferdinand's been really complimentary about Shaw. Personally, he's not going to stay fit throughout the entire season. He's going to get injured. Probably, I'd imagine, in the next month or month after that, and then he'll magically be fit for England duty. So I wouldn't get too I wouldn't invest too much on the Luke Shaw stocks right now. I really want Hoyland to succeed elsewhere. He never said anything bad about the club in the media. Yeah, hopefully he does. He is successful. I mean, ideal scenario is that maybe he's successful on loan. He scores a few goals and then we sell him for like 50 mil, and then we just recoup what we lost on him, really. Okay, what else do we have? If not, it's going to be a very quick show tonight because it doesn't look as though there's been that much in terms of news. It's just Sancho being a pleb as always, and Hoyland looking to get moved on, and Napoli coming in for Xerxes. I think that's all that's happened today. DiMarzio has reported that AS Roma are not giving up on Jadon Sancho, despite his refusal in recent hours. So that's good at least. What else do we have? Okay, so Laurie Whitwell on Talk of the Devils. There was a point early on in the negotiations for Carlos Baleba where that kind of João Pedro money, 60 mil, was raised as a possible fee. And then clearly Brighton have said no, it's going to be much, much more than that for Carlos Baleba. But Indicator has reported that Carlos Baleba is disappointed that Brighton have overpriced him and does want the Manchester United move still. I would not be surprised to see that happen in either January if Brighton need the funds, or just next season. Because a lot of people keep saying, oh, we're going to have more competition from City, we're going to have more competition from Arsenal. We've done a lot of work on the players' side for Baleba, and I would not be surprised whatsoever to see that that deal goes on next summer. Real Oviedo confirmed former Manchester United defender Eric Bailly has drawn on a 2-year contract. Good luck to Eric. Oh, okay. Fabrizio Romano on Anthony. Developments are expected regarding Anthony's future, with Real Betis hoping for his return. Finances are key to the final decision. Okay, well, that doesn't really say much. The only one who are paying for Sancho are Saudi or the Turkish league. He needs to forget high-level football with those wages. I don't think even the Turkish league would pay 300k a week for him, if I'm being honest. I do not see that happening. But yeah, so far, Manchester United's departures are looking at Marcus Rashford on loan, Toby Collier on loan, Daniel Gore on loan, Ethan Wheatley on loan, and we have not made a single penny in terms of outgoings this summer. Okay, do we have anything else for you lovely people? Jack Grealish makes his debut as Everton player just now. What is the score in the Everton game? Let's have a look. 0-0 with Leeds. Okay. It's not been the highest scoring start to the season. I mean, Tottenham, Sunderland, City, Liverpool, but a lot of 0-0s, a lot of draws across the board. I honestly think that it should have been a draw with United and Arsenal. Absolutely pissed that didn't end up in a draw. Okay. But yeah, I think those are all the updates. Nah, the chat needs to be active tomorrow, B. Don't worry, bro. Don't worry. We'll go live earlier tomorrow. I think as soon as it goes past 9 o'clock, the UK folks, they are already in bed. But yeah, man. We will leave it there. But we will be going live tomorrow, covering the latest and greatest Manchester United updates. Hope everyone has a delightful evening. But for now, Godspeed.